Imagine the world with no Chesapeake Bay. No fresh seafood, a limited supply of fresh water, and no recreational use of the bay. If you realize it or not, everyone in the Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania area is affected by the Chesapeake Bay daily. I am a Maryland resident and I see the pollution of the Chesapeake Bay, and after doing research about the pollution of the Chesapeake Bay, I feel that there needs to be a change. This is the Chesapeake Bay today, and this is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. Today, I will be going over the issues that are surrounded by the poor water quality of the Chesapeake Bay, an organization that is looking to change the quality of the Chesapeake Bay, and the benefits that we will gain from a restored Chesapeake Bay. First, I will introduce the problem at hand. There are many issues that are created by the poor water quality of the Chesapeake Bay. Will Parsons, in an article from the Chesapeake Bay program, says almost 3/4 of the Chesapeake Bay's waters are impaired by pesticides, pharmaceuticals, metals, and other chemicals. This is an example of a very polluted, heavily polluted area of the Chesapeake Bay. These pollutants get into the bay by runoff, by water waste, and by air pollution. That's how some of the chemicals get into the bay. And the Chesapeake Bay has been placed on the Clean Water Act's list of impaired waters, so it needs help. This is a dead zone. Dead zones are also a problem that the Chesapeake Bay is facing. They're caused by algae blooms, which when algae receives too much nutrients, it blooms up and it blocks all the sunlight that could get down to lower organisms, and it kills all the organisms that are living under there because they don't receive oxygen from the sun. Judy Bowie, in an article from the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, a Maddox Creek homeowner recounts a devastating summer just a few years ago when oxygen-deprived waters killed 296,000 fish in the Maddox Creek, Virginia. The last issue that I will go over is the degradation of habitats such as the blue crab habitat in the Chesapeake Bay. Habitat loss has caused the blue crab population to fluctuate greatly. Matt Rath from the Chesapeake Bay Foundation says that blue crabs use underwater grasses as nurseries and feeding grounds. A drop in underwater grass abundance has been linked to the decline of blue crabs. And this is the blue crab that we know and love today. Now that you see all the devastating effects of the poor water quality of the Chesapeake Bay, let's look at a program that is attempting to change the water quality of the Chesapeake Bay. One organization that is working to address these issues is the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. From Wikipedia, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation is a nonprofit organization that is devoted to the restoration and protection of the Chesapeake Bay. The Chesapeake Bay Foundation has 185 employees, which have jobs that greatly vary from leading volunteer activities to informing the youth of the need to protect the Chesapeake Bay. One of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation's goals is to replenish the oyster population. In the next 7 years, they plan to add 10 billion oysters to the Chesapeake Bay. Dan Mayfield, in an article from the Virginia Pilot, says, after decades of dramatic declines in oyster population due to the habitat loss and disease, have made an impressive comeback in the recent years. Another way that the Chesapeake Bay Foundation is looking to improve the Chesapeake Bay is by restoring the wetlands surrounding the bay. An article from the Chesapeake Bay Foundation website says the Chesapeake Bay Foundation has restored 67.7 acres of wetlands. These areas around the bay are crucial to filtering the pollution out of the water, so when it runs off it doesn't get into the bay and it's filtered out. And it's also crucial to providing habitats to wildlife. This is an example of one of the volunteer activities that the Chesapeake Bay Foundation leads. They are cleaning up trash along a a shoreline across the bay. The Chesapeake Bay Foundation leads many volunteer activities such as this. These include restorations of native oysters, planting underwater grasses, cleaning up public beaches, and planting trees to restore the bay's natural filter from pollution. They also teach many classes to inform the youth about the importance of keeping the bay clean. Now that you've been informed about the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, let's look at all the benefits that will come from a clean bay. There would be numerous benefits that come from the restoration of the Chesapeake Bay. The ultimate goal of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation is to reach a 70 on the index scale. That is considered a saved bay by the State of the Bay Index. Currently, the Chesapeake Bay is at a 34 on an index scale, around here, and that is considered dangerously out of balance. In an article from the Chesapeake Bay Foundation website, a saved bay is resilient enough to withstand the status of nature and of humankind, and it is rich enough to nurture diverse culture and contribute abundantly to our economy. A saved bay would benefit people in the Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania areas greatly, varying from economic benefits all the way to recreational benefits. The value of the Chesapeake Bay Water Blueprint says that a saved bay is worth nearly $103 billion and increases $20 billion per year for generations. The blueprint also says our houses will be worth more, clean water will attract more recreation, and our farms and waters will be more productive. Now that you have learned the issues that are surrounded by the Chesapeake Bay's poor water quality, an organization that is looking to change the status of the Chesapeake Bay and the benefits that will come from the restoration of the Chesapeake Bay, it's time to help the cause. There are numerous things that you can do to help the cause, but the easiest and most time efficient for a college student would be to volunteer. There are many volunteer activities that you can participate in that I talked about earlier, and you can go to www.cbf.org and sign up for one of these volunteer activities to participate in. And every volunteer makes a difference. So I hope that you guys have learned the benefits of saving the Chesapeake Bay.